Are you thinking about selling your multifamily in Hudson County? Well, before you do that, be aware of these 5 common mistakes that can cost you time and money. Whether you own a property in Jersey City, Hoboken, West New York, or North Bergen, these tips will ensure that you sell quickly and at the best possible price. My name is Chaz Fernandez. I'm a North New Jersey realtor, and stay tuned so you can learn how to avoid these common pitfalls. The first mistake that sellers make in Hudson County when selling their multifamily home is pricing. It's either pricing too high or pricing too low. Okay, if you price too low, yeah, sure, maybe you'll make a faster sale, but you're also leaving money on the table. Okay. On the flip side, and what I commonly see is pricing too high. And the issue with pricing too high is it winds up sitting on the market for a long time. And then by the time that you do decide to come down the price, it's your property is seen as stale goods on the market because it's been there for 60 days, 80 days, 90 days. Buyers and investors see this and say to themselves, well, there may be some underlying issues. They question as to why it's been sitting on the market for so long. So the best way to determine the right price is to work with a local expert, such as a realtor, right? That can help you, find that correct price using a comparative market analysis. Obviously not all multifamilies are created equal. Whether it's a duplex, a 3-family, a 4-family, and much higher, 5+, so if it's an apartment building, dynamics such as which neighborhoods it's in. Is it in Union City? Is it in the Jersey City Heights? Is it in the Woodcliff section of North Bergen? Does your multifamily have central air? Does it have a driveway? Is it close to public transportation? These are all factors that affect the price of your multifamily. Not to mention the tenants in your multifamily. Are they paying rent that's under market value, or are they paying rent at market value? That is also going to positively or negatively affect your price of the multifamily. So there's a lot of different external and internal factors that you have to keep in mind, or your realtor or any real estate professional for that matter has to keep in mind when determining the price for your multifamily. Obviously, if you have a 3-family in Jersey City, a 3-family in the Jersey City Heights and a 3-family in Jersey City Greenville are going to be very different. Even if they both have driveways, they both don't have central air, they both have tenants that are paying market value rent for their own neighborhoods, but still market value is going to be different. Okay, because especially somewhere in Jersey City, the market values are dependent even within their own neighborhoods in their own section of Jersey City. So pricing correctly from the start will not only attract more buyers, it will also help maximize your realistic profit, and it will save you time. The second mistake that sellers make in Hudson County when selling their multifamily are neglecting to market to investors. So Hudson County has a lot of multifamily investors. This is due obviously to the proximity to New York City, as well as the high rental demand. West New York, West New York, Union City, Guttenberger, and Hoboken. Those are the top 4 most densely populated towns in the United States. There's always going to be rental demand, which is why owning a multifamily, or in this case selling a multifamily, is a good opportunity on both sides. One way to appeal to investors is obviously having a record of your financials. You want to have a PDF or any type of way that you keep track of it professionally. You want to have the rent rolls for each unit. You want to know, okay, are they on a lease? Are they month to month? What are your operating expenses? And again, these are all things that your realtor should be doing for you. They should be gathering the information for you, presenting it in a professional way, so that way then investors or when other agents see this, they say, okay, great, I can take this and show this to my clients now. One thing that I offer to my clients, when they're selling, that I know other realtors don't do, is I will pull a list. For example, in this case, multifamilies, I'll pull a list of every single person who purchased a multifamily in the last 5 years, individuals, not corporations, of every single individual who bought multifamily in the last 5 years. And before your property even comes onto the market, I'm gonna give every single one of them a call and say, hey, Robert, I see you purchased a multifamily in West New York 2 years ago. Just want to let you know that I have one coming on the market next Sunday. You're more than welcome to come to the open house. And it's those things that are gonna, going with number 1, is going to help maximize your realistic profits as well as save you time. The third mistake that sellers make when selling their multifamily in Hudson County is neglecting the curb appeal, ignoring the curb appeal. Okay, you guys have to understand, even if the interior of your multifamily looks great, numbers are good, you're definitely lowering your buyer pool just by having a bad curb appeal. Okay, if from the exterior of the building, if it looks run down, if there's weeds coming out, from the property, what are you signaling to buyers? To a degree, you're almost signaling that you don't care about the property, okay? And when you signal that, you're leaving money on the table, because now people can come in and say, well, this guy doesn't care about the property, so I'm gonna try to get this at a discount. It's not a good first impression. Like anything in life, you want to have a good first impression. That first picture, the first time they see that exterior online, they're gonna see it, and if it looks like, why is there broken shingles here? Why are the weeds coming up from the ground? Why is there cracks in the stairs? These are all things people keep in mind. And it doesn't have to be expensive, to make these little adjustments, to do some landscaping, right? You can even do it yourself, hire someone cheaply to, like I said, if there's weeds coming out of the building, take care of the weeds. If exterior needs a paint job, yeah, maybe that's a little expensive, but think about the return you're gonna get. You're gonna open up your buying pool more. If there's cracks in some of the in the stairway or the entryway, fix that. Think of your curb appeal as an investment, because a well-maintained property not only attracts more buyers, but also justifies a higher asking price. The fourth mistake that sellers make when selling their multifamily in Hudson County is overlooking necessary repairs and upgrades. Most likely, whoever purchases your multifamily is gonna order an inspection. Okay, so if you're a seller, right, and for example, that in the winter, the hot water doesn't stay on for long, and that the hot water heater is probably at the end of its life, don't be surprised when a buyer is going to ask you for a credit, or they're ask their agent to ask your agent, for a credit towards the closing, or they're going to ask you to repair it, or if they might ask you for money. Okay, if you're a seller and your property has central air, but you notice that it's not blowing as cold as it used to, maybe you have a problem with your condenser and that, but you're putting it off. Well, then don't be surprised when the inspector comes and in the inspection report it talks about how the AC failed because it's not running cool enough. Okay, so don't be surprised then when a buyer asks you again for a credit or money towards closing or for you to repair it. I always tell my clients who are purchasing any property, hey, it's not a new construction, it's an older home. Don't expect new home conditions in a property that's not a new construction. But even so, any good agent is that's representing a buyer who wants to buy your property, and they see the inspection report, they're going to try to nickel and dime you for everything, right? Because they're going to want to see how much they can get from you to lower the price or to fix it, right? That's what a good agent would do. So you have to be aware of that. So if there's certain things that that you could fix or have serviced before you list it, it's one less headache you're going to have to deal with later down the line. Not to mention, even if some of these issues aren't, catastrophic, think about it from the other perspective. If a buyer is looking to buy a property and the inspection report comes and it says, AC, central air, failed, hot water heater isn't performing the way it's supposed to, and then not to mention, those could be little things, electrical outlets don't have the GCFI, you want to minimize these things because you don't want to scare away the buyers either. Now, if you are selling your property off market, however, that's a little bit of a different story because it's not going to be held to the same standards as to an on-market property. Okay, so if an agent approached you, asking if you wanted to sell your home because he has a client, that's a little bit different. That's a different scenario. But if you want to address these issues before you list it onto the open market, it could definitely save you time, money, and one less headache. The fifth mistake that sellers make when selling their multifamily in Hudson County is failing to highlight strong rent rolls. Whether it's a buyer who's going to own or occupy one of the units in your multifamily, or just a straight investor who wants to invest into your property, they care about the income potential of your property. That's why it's important that you are staying up to date with the market value of rents, okay, as well as obviously adhering to rent control regulations, of course. And if you currently don't have, rents that are at a market value, it's up to your agent to kind of, market that in a sense that, well, hey, there's a lot of potential in this multifamily because look, these are our current income and expenses, but just know that these rents are under market value. So there's potential here to get more income in this property, and kind of going hand in hand. That's why it's important that you screen these tenants so you have good quality tenants that pay market value rent. Okay, these are all things that again are going to raise the property value. If you have a tenant, or that's paying $1,000 a month when the market value is $1,500, that's great. That's great because in a sense that now an investor could say, well, hey, when I buy this, I know there's potential there. However, at this current moment, your property is not at the value that it could be had you had a tenant that was paying market value rents. So by showcasing a property's profitability or its future potential, you're better positioning it in the open market. So avoiding these pitfalls can lead to a smoother and more profitable sale. If you guys are considering selling your multifamily in Hudson County, I'm here to help, and I know I can guide you guys to a successful sale. Once again, guys, my name is Chaz Fernandez, and if you'd like to work with me, my contact info is on the screen.